Yo, what's good, everybody? It's your guy back again with another episode, and trust me, this one has the internet talking. Make sure you stay locked in because things got interesting real quick after T.I. stirred up a major conversation with his latest comments about Verzuz and where he stands on it today. The timing is what makes this even more surprising, considering he just announced that his new album is set to drop this Friday. Right now, the King of the South is everywhere, making rounds across the media landscape. He stopped by the Breakfast Club, linked up with Gilly and Wallow on $1 Million Worth of Game, and even appeared on the Joe Budden podcast. The catch, though, is that the Joe Budden interview sits behind the Patreon paywall, so you have to subscribe to watch the full conversation. Of course, that didn't stop clips from spreading all over social media. I'm not going to play any of that content here because it was released as exclusive material, but one statement in particular immediately grabbed everyone's attention. According to T.I., the Verzuz conversation is officially over for him, and he has no interest in revisiting that chapter anymore. Then he doubled down by saying that type of activity is for people operating on a different level financially. He also questioned the purpose of going back and forth with another grown man at 45 years old, suggesting there's nothing left for him to prove. Now let's be honest, that's a wild stance coming from T.I. when so much of this rollout has been connected to discussions about potential battles. A huge part of the buzz surrounding him recently centered around the idea of a showdown with 50 Cent. And for him to now say there's no money involved and label it as something beneath him financially, that's where a lot of people started raising their eyebrows. Sure, everybody understands artists wanting to get compensated for their time and performance. Nobody expects major names to show up for free. But fans have always viewed Verzuz as more than just a paycheck. It's been about celebrating the culture, reliving classic records, and creating moments that bring hip-hop fans together. That's what made these events special in the first place. And what makes this even more interesting is that T.I. himself has been one of the loudest voices pushing the idea of a Verzuz matchup, especially whenever the conversation involved 50 Cent.
I don't know. I don't know what we could do. It's what the people want.
Well, if this man, if this man agrees to the contingencies, I'm at him. Both of them.
Ooh-wee.
Line them up. Line them up. This over for it. Lay it off. Nigga ain't been the same since he had to cut his dreads off.
You gotta save that for your post.
Hey man, I'm just putting. Hey, Sweet, you don't know how much this shit my day, man. You don't know how much. I really enjoy this.
I can tell.
Really enjoy this. But see, I need 50 because I know he gonna catch my energy. I love to play 40 instead of 20. I can't wait.
You hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm listening to you.
If you get a chance,
Yes, sir.
please tell 50 bring on out here and get this smoke.
Oh, Jesus.
Please tell 50 Cent get his hit records and come on and sit down and see what the South got to say. He either gonna have to accept the challenge or up. Those are the only two options. Well, you just let me know. Cause I'm looking for a jet. He got a party tonight. I'm looking for a jet. I'm going up there and I'm gonna commandeer his celebration.
Jesus Christ. That man said commandeer. When you start using words like that, that's when you're serious.
And I said who I wanted.
You want Weezy?
Nah, I said I wanted. That's what I said. He don't want no smoke though.
Oh, Lord.
I called my man out. He don't want no smoke. He ducking smoke. It's cool. So now here we are trying to think about other people who would do it. You know what I'm saying? We mentioned Wayne, and Wayne wouldn't be bad. I respect Wayne. I'm a Hot Boy fan.
Yes, sir.
I feel like that would make some sense. I don't think Wayne really into it, but you know.
And that's exactly what sparked this entire battle conversation in the first place. So hearing T.I. now describe it as poor people activity honestly caught a lot of people off guard. I'm not gonna lie, that wording just feels completely off to me. The second those comments started circulating, they came across as unnecessarily disrespectful. And let's not forget, these events create opportunities for a lot of people beyond just the artists involved. There's absolutely nothing poor about competition within hip-hop culture. This has always been rooted in creativity, talent, and proving your skills. That's what this culture was built on. That's why it's strange when someone suddenly changes their perspective so dramatically. You can't spend years pushing these conversations and championing the idea of competition, then come back recently and go even harder with it. We watched him release records, throw shots at 50 Cent, and keep the discussion alive every chance he got. So to now turn around and act like going back and forth is beneath people financially feels like a complete contradiction. This was never about being rich or poor. If competition is part of your profession and your craft, then that's simply the arena you operate in. To me, those comments felt completely disconnected from the culture that helped create these moments. Honestly, I don't know what was going through T.I.'s mind when he made that statement, but that's one of the risks that come with podcasts and long-form interviews. Sometimes people speak in the moment and phrase things in ways they probably could have handled better. Even with that in mind, though, I think he missed the mark badly on this one. There's really no way around it. And it reminds me of similar conversations we've heard from other major figures over the years. It's kind of like when Jay-Z questioned how he felt about battle rap in its current form. At least in that situation, there was a specific concern being discussed. Everybody understands that modern battle rap can sometimes cross lines that didn't exist before. The culture has evolved to a point where personal attacks can become much more intense. In some cases, it goes far beyond music and competition and starts involving people's families and personal lives.
Battling. We love the excitement, and I love the sparring and the music you get. But in this day and age, it's so much negative stuff that comes with it that you almost wish it didn't happen.
Really?
Yeah, because it's almost like it's a final thing. It's like, I don't like that. You know, maybe I've grown in a space that is probably, you know, I sound like the old guy wagging the finger. But I think we can achieve the same thing as far as like sparring with music, with collaborations more so than breaking the whole thing apart. Because there was no social media and there was no thing, and you know, you had the battle and it was fun and then you moved on.
Right.
Right now, I don't know if it could stand it with the technology that we have.
Because it takes up so much oxygen.
It takes up so much oxygen.
Yeah.
And now it's just like every day they're just trying
they're still talking about it.
So when people heard that, the reaction was basically, all right, maybe he's just done with the diss records and that chapter of his career. But then you turn around, get on stage, and take shots at everybody who ever came at you. Now, don't get me wrong, every artist has the right to respond when they're challenged. The problem is when your actions start contradicting the exact message you're putting out publicly. And that's where this situation gets confusing. Because if we're being completely honest, a major part of T.I.'s legacy was built on competition, rivalries, and going bar for bar with other artists. Let's call it what it is. Nobody can ever take away his accomplishments. The man made classic records, delivered countless hits, proved his skills as a rapper, and built one of the strongest catalogs in hip-hop history. That's not even up for debate. But this particular take just doesn't add up to me. How do you suddenly dismiss something that has been part of the culture for decades simply because you're no longer interested in participating? Especially when not that long ago, you were actively pushing for a Verzuz battle with 50 Cent. We all remember the challenges, the interviews, the back-and-forth comments, and even the music tied to that conversation. The energy was completely different back then. That's why I can't really get behind T.I. on this one. I had to call it exactly how I see it, because the second I heard those comments, I was like, hold on now, what are we doing here? There's nothing wrong with competition in hip-hop. This almost comes across like someone reaching a different level of success and suddenly looking at the game from a completely different angle. But whether you're rich, famous, or somewhere in between, competition has always been part of the sport. That's never going to change. And more importantly, it's one of the ways fans stay connected to the culture they love. We've watched so many legendary Verzuz moments over the years, from iconic label matchups to unforgettable artist showdowns. There have been too many memorable battles to count. Some were bigger than others, sure, but that's beside the point. The bigger picture is that none of this has ever been about poor people activity. Getting on stage, performing your music, and celebrating the culture with the fans who helped build your career will never be something to look down on. The moment you start describing it that way, it starts sounding like you're talking down to the very people who supported you from day one. That's just my opinion, but I think a lot of fans feel the same way. We'll have to wait and see if T.I. decides to clarify those remarks, because I wouldn't be surprised if a response is coming soon. Right now, though, his name is definitely circulating for all the reasons people love to talk about online. Controversy, confusion, debate, confrontation, you already know those topics keep social media moving. And while I wouldn't go as far as calling this a complete crash-out moment, I definitely don't agree with what was said. To me, it came off disrespectful and completely unnecessary. At the same time, let's not ignore the timing. His album is dropping this Friday, which means these comments have everyone paying attention heading into release week. Whether that was intentional or not, people are talking. But now I want to hear from y'all. Drop your thoughts below because this conversation is far from over. We got plenty more content on the way, so stay tapped in and stay on your pivot.